Well, Lieutenant Mike Gorman of the Sylacauga Police Department joins us now, and it is Click It or Ticket campaign going on that began on Monday and goes through June the 3rd. And Mike, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Appreciate you coming, and talk a little bit about the Click It or Ticket campaign.
Okay, this started about 8 years ago, and we do it every year through a DECA. And what we do is we have extra officers out looking specifically for offenders not wearing their seat belts, kids not in car seats, mainly during this period, but also other violations also. And we also have checkpoints, safety checkpoints throughout the city. Day shift and night shift has them. And at those we're looking for, again, seat belts, car seats, your insurance card, your registration, and your license.
In South Talladega County, in the city of Sylacauga, what is more prevalent as far as these type of violations might be?
You mean the seat belts?
Yeah, seat belts or car seats or whatever it might be.
Seat belts will be more.
Who wears them and who don't?
Well, you can't really target a specific group of people, but you know, like I said, I started this about 8 years ago, and we used to do a pre and post seatbelt survey. And what I did, I went out in a plain car in regular clothes, so nobody knew it was a police officer, and I sit at a specific location and checked 100 vehicles. And on this, I would check they wore their seatbelt, the type of vehicle, and then after I'd go out and do the same thing. When we first started, the seatbelt usage back then was probably in the mid-50s. Now it's in the upper 70s. So I think it's working. More people's wearing them. Like I say, back then, it's pretty much all vehicles, all types of people. Nowadays, maybe a lot more maybe pickup trucks we see that people's not wearing them.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that 51% of the 22,187 people killed in motor vehicle crashes, this is in 2010 alone, were not wearing seat belts. And they also show that in 2010, 61% of the 10,647 people killed in car crashes overnight, or from 6 p.m. to 5:59 a.m., were not wearing seatbelts, compared to 42% during daytime hours. Why the difference there, you think?
I think at night, people more, I guess they think, well, they're not going to see me not wearing my seatbelt. You know, and it is harder to see at night.
You guys not going to be watching at night, I guess.
I think that's some of it. Maybe it's a different group out at night. Maybe, you know, I'm not sure about why that is, but most of the accidents happen in rural areas. And then again, most of your accidents happen within 5 miles of your house. And I think a lot of people...
That's kind of shocking.
It is. I think they get more complacent. They feel safer. I know this area. I'm not going to wear my seatbelt. I'm just going to run to Walmart. It's only 2-3 miles away. I think that plays into it. Complacency. You get used to and familiar where you're at. You can, you can go to Florida and come back and have a wreck here. So,
how strongly is this being enforced this year?
It's no warnings. You're not wearing it, you get a ticket. That's why it's called Click It or Ticket.
So, what is the fine? How does that work? Do you know?
It's a $10 fine, and if you, I think your third offense maybe goes up to 50 because they keep up with it through the state. So each time you get one, it could go up after your third one, or after your second one. First two are 10. So it's not a big fine, but maybe it gets your attention. That's what we'd like to get, is people to comply without having to write them a ticket, because it's about saving lives. And you get the thing from a lot of people, it's my right. I don't have to wear a seat. Why? It's my choice. But they don't realize that when we have accidents, it affects your insurance premiums, because when people get hurt, they go to the hospital from the accident from not wearing their seatbelt. So it affects everybody somehow. Your insurance rates may go up because of some people not wearing their seatbelts and having an accident, getting hurt.
The Click It or Ticket campaign continues through June the 3rd. I guess you've heard all kind of excuses of why we're not wearing our seatbelts, right?
Oh, always. Yeah, I was just running. I just got in the car. I was just running over here, like I said. And I think it's kind of funny sometimes when we're on our checkpoints, you look up the road and you'll see a car kind of doing that. What they're doing.
You saw me yesterday?
They're reaching over to get their seatbelt, and when they do, they get the little wobble, you know. And, you know, if we see them up the road without it on, we can write them because we saw them without it on. Just because they come up to us with it on, you know, like it's up to the officer. If they saw it, then they'll write it.
You have checkpoints day and night?
Day and night shift, different locations all over town.
Mm-hmm.
And I send that up to ADECA, and they actually post it on their website so anybody can look it up and see. That way, you know, we're not being sneaky. We're not trying to catch people, but we want to promote safety.
Why are we uneasy when we roll up on a checkpoint?
I don't. People get nervous, even if they have everything. They're all nervous. You know, people, especially women, they'll tell us, "Oh, you just make me nervous," and you know, it's okay. Just get
what do we
get your
need
stuff.
In our vehicle?
We ask for your license first, your insurance, and your registration. So, you know, insurance card's big. A lot of people can't find their insurance, or they don't stick it in their vehicle, and they say, "Well, I have it." Well, if you can't prove you have it, you're probably going to get a ticket. So, and we work with people. If they don't have it with them, we write them a ticket. Usually, if they bring it and show it to us, we'll help them out, dismiss it for them. But that doesn't mean if you don't have your insurance that day and you go get it later, you're still going to pay that ticket. So, and the registration, it's easy if you just put it all in your glove box, have it all together.
Right.
And a lot of people don't do that. They can't find anything. So that's what I think is what makes them nervous.
Lieutenant Mike Gorman from Sylacauga Police Department. The National Click It or Ticket seatbelt enforcement campaign began on Monday, continues through June the 3rd, and I saw some numbers this morning where AAA is saying there's going to be more people on the roadways this year, traveling less distance, so that means more congested roadways locally. I
think so. I think the gas prices have dropped a little bit, so I think there will be more people, you know, maybe going to the beach from here. So it will be, there'll be a lot of traffic, and hopefully they wear their seatbelts, because a lot of injuries from wrecks will be prevented from seatbelt usage. And like I say, people, they don't really think about, hey, it could happen to me.
And of course, DUIs, drunk driving, there are many violations that can take place that you find out about during the Click It or Ticket campaign.
Oh yeah, we like even our checkpoints, we may find somebody we have a warrant on. You know, so we get warrants from checkpoints also. We look at your car tag, see if it's expired. Several things you can look at a checkpoint. So it helps us promote safety.
The Click It or Ticket campaign continues through June the 3rd, and Lieutenant Mike Gorman from Sylacauga Police Department joins us. Seatbelts saved an estimated 12,546 lives nationwide in 2010, and you're telling drivers that they should be aware that seatbelt laws are enforced year-round, just not during Click It or Ticket.
Right, and, you know, that's what I say. Seatbelt, usually it's a habit. If you don't do it, usually you're not going to do it. If you get used to coming in, buckling up, then it's a lot better to start that habit. And I think, like I say, over the last 8 years, in our area, it's gone up, you know, 20% from what I've seen. So I think that's a big thing. That and the promotion of this. That's why we need to promote it.
The car seats for small children. You know, I've seen a lot of parents and grandparents kind of try to skirt that a little bit, and they're putting their children at risk. Yeah,
because, you know, a lot of people don't understand what happens in a vehicle. When you're sitting in the vehicle and you're going 30, 40 miles an hour, your body's going 30, 40 miles an hour. And if you hit something, the car stops, but until your body hits something, you're moving at that speed. So the seatbelt's going to grab you and hold you, but if not, then you're going to smash into the windshield at 30, 40 miles an hour. And anybody in the back seat's probably going to fly into the front seat. So that's why, you know, a lot of the kids, they fuss and cry, and the parents, they say, well, they ain't got to sit in it. It's for their safety, you know, because I've seen kids fly from the back to the front and be injured because they wasn't in a car seat.
And those car seats need to be secured, not just sitting in a vehicle.
Right, you have to secure that tightly to hold it in place. And but I don't know. We see some of that, some of the car seat not being used. The worst offense I've seen is somebody actually holding a child and driving, because you're putting them right in the middle.
And they think that they're secure. You know, I've got them.
But what you're going to do? You're going to mash them against the windshield or steering wheel. That's even worse. So, you know, usually if I see that, or officer sees that, that's a ticket right away. And we don't let them drive off until they secure the child.
Lieutenant Mike Gorman of the Sylacauga Police Department, the National Click It or Ticket campaign ongoing through June the 3rd. You talked about the checkpoints. And you talked about, you know, we're not trying to surprise people or anything like that. Can people find out where the checkpoints are going to be, or
they can go to the ADECA website? I don't have it right with me, but you can go to the ADECA website, and they have all the checkpoints from all the cities in our county that's having checkpoints, because we have to mail a list up to them a couple weeks ahead of time. So that's why they promote it, and they don't want to think anybody, you know, that we're trying to hide and sneak up on people. So, and not just during this blitz period. We have checkpoints all the time, but they're not publicized. Just during this 2 weeks, we have them on a list. So the rest of the year, we just have them here and there where we want to. And even on this 2 week period, we can have more than the one a day, one a day, one at night. Night shift, they usually have 2 at night, here and there. So, and like I say, we're all over town. We're not just in one place in town. We're not just in one community. We're all over.
And when you roll up to a checkpoint, you know, there's multiple officers there, and the PD has a plan for almost any eventuality there.
Oh yes, we have probably at least 4 to 6 officers at the checkpoint, and that's for our safety. And plus, you know, a lot of times at checkpoints, if somebody sees it, they may try to go around it. They may turn, and we usually have an officer that watches for people like that, and we go stop them. You know, want to know, you know, the same information: license, registration, insurance. So it's kind of hard to get around them.
Sometimes people with larger frames, well, the seat belt is inconvenient, it's uncomfortable, so what I will do is I will just pull it across my body. It'll deactivate that beep in my vehicle, letting me know that my seat belt's not fastened, but that's not fooling the police department, is it?
No, it's... I went to a school where, with the lap thing, this guy had put his seat belt under his arm. Well, he was in an accident, and it actually tore his arm off.
Wow.
Because he didn't wear it properly. So again, if you don't wear it properly, you could be injured from it. So I mean, that's a rare thing there, but it could happen. So, and they showed us a scene of a car accident up in Jefferson County where a baby was in a car seat, was thrown out of the vehicle, and was sitting in the middle of the highway uninjured in the car seat.
It's amazing.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. The National Highway Safety Traffic Administration reports that 51% of the 22,187 people killed in motor vehicle crashes in 2010 were not wearing seatbelts. So the numbers aren't available for 2012, but 22,187 people is a lot of people to lose their lives on the roadway, and 51% of those killed were not wearing seatbelts. So we're at that point, 50% range.
Yeah, you could maybe half that if they had their seat. You don't know, but I know more people would have been saved from wearing them. So that's what we try to get the message out. Get in your car, vehicle. It's a habit. Buckle up, then drive off.
Is it continuing education, Mike?
I think so, because, like I say, it's a habit. It's just instinct now. When to me, I get in, it's the first thing I do. But a lot of people, they get in, they don't wear it, so they're not used to doing it. So I think it's a learned thing.
And you can, even though it has been habitual for you to buckle your seatbelt, you begin to slack a little bit, and it becomes a habit not to do it again.
Yeah, you can get out of the habit. I think, like I say, 8 years ago, we used to do these surveys, and the post-survey, it was even up into the high 80s, people using them. But I think it was because of the 2 week period, everybody got used to, hey, I better put my seatbelt on. But if you just keep it up after the period, you know, you wear it all the time. So.
Do you find older people, residents in Sylacauga, are wearing seatbelts? Are they more prone to wear them than younger people?
You know, to start with, when we first started this, it seemed like a lot of the older people weren't wearing them. And I think, again, over their lifetime, they hadn't done it. And again, that was back to someone would tell you, hey, it's my right not to wear it if I don't, you know, and I got that a lot from the older people. But now I think it's more uniform. I think everybody's kind of getting on board. There's still some people just tell you, I'm not going to wear it. Okay, well, you know, I'm trying to help you write the ticket. And, you know, but that's just the attitude of some people. They just write me the ticket. So.
And finally this morning, once a ticket is written and you say, well, it's just a small thing here, I'm not even going to worry about that, but that can cause real problems.
Yeah, like I say, you keep getting them, it'll go up. And eventually, I'm
just not going to go to court. They'll forget about it.
Your insurance company may see to your insurance going up. Again, it back to the affects everybody, you know. Yeah, you can't, you know, if you don't go to court, then you have a failure to appear warrant on you, and it just builds from there. So
if you're stopped again, you're going to check that database, and there it is.
There it is. This is your third, fourth offense. So, you know, hopefully they'll comply.
Lieutenant Mike Gorman from Sylacauga Police Department. The National Click It or Ticket Seatbelt Enforcement Campaign continues through June 3rd. Checkpoints daily through June the 3rd, both day and night. And Mike, be safe out there and appreciate you coming by.
Thanks.